Good morning, Sheila. How are you?
Good morning, Wayne. I'm super. How are you
I
today?
am doing fantabulous.
Yay.
And I don't even know if that's a word, but I
It
feel
is
that way.
now. We'll put it in our dictionary.
Okay. Hey, and welcome everyone to 27 Minutes with Sheila and Wayne, where we explore the fascinating world of verbs and their impact on our daily life. Join us each week as we delve into the different ways verbs shape our language and influence what we do, as we are attempting to make a positive difference in our world, one verb at a time. And Sheila, what might our verb be for today?
Today's verb is a fun one because I couldn't sit still while I was researching this one. The word
Uh
is
oh.
to jump.
To jump.
To jump. Yeah.
Hey, yes. And this is episode number 179.
Yay.
And I want to thank all of the listeners who give us feedback. And I get one or two a week, it seems like. And someone is saying, hey, how much they enjoyed the conversation that you and I have and your
Oh,
perspective
nice.
on one thing or my perspective on something else. And they're trying to introduce us to someone who might want to join our
Ah,
podcast
uh-huh.
one day. So thank you for that. Keep those coming.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. All right. And Sheila, how might our listeners contact you with questions and comments?
Thank you for asking. I can be reached at Zeke and Sheila at yahoo.com. Zeke, of course, is my our third co-host, although he's rather quiet, the golden retriever sitting behind me, judgmentally listening.
All right, go Zeke.
Yeah.
And I can be reached at Wayne at mindsyncing.com. And that is spelled MindSyncing.com. Wayne at mindsyncing.com. So, episode 179, to jump.
To
And do
jump.
you have definitions or would you like me to just kind of go down my laundry list?
Normally I love your long list, but I just had to write one definition down, and that is to push yourself off the ground using your legs and then rise into the air. I just
Okay.
really liked the dynamic of that one. So, but let's hear your 52 definitions to supplement that.
Okay, here's my other ones. To move or act suddenly or quickly,
Hmm.
to increase suddenly by a large amount, to avoid or leave out a point or stage from the correct order in a series,
Mm-hmm.
to attack someone suddenly, to spring into the air. Here's another one. To move suddenly or involuntarily.
Mm-hmm.
Here's one. To start out or forward. My last three coming up. To move haphazardly or irregularly.
Mm-hmm.
To or irregularly. My mouth is just getting over my. I don't know. It goes in front of my brain sometimes and just says things. I don't know why.
Okay.
Here's my last two. To make a hurried judgment. And lastly, to rise suddenly in rank or status.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And Sheila, what were your thoughts initially when when you pulled jump out of the out of the random verb generator?
I immediately thought of idioms that include the word jump, and I'm going to read a few here.
Ooh.
To jump for joy. This is kind of one to take a leap of faith,
Uh-huh.
to jump the gun, to jump to conclusions, to jump the shark. I don't know if you remember that back from Happy Days TV show. To jump on the bandwagon, to jump through hoops. I thought you'd enjoy that one.
Uh-huh.
So
Yes.
those are some of the ones. And I got a few definitions. Like to jump through hoops is to make an extraordinary effort, especially in following a prescribed procedure. A definition like that really takes the air out of a jump idiom. So I decided I wasn't going to get the definitions for all of them,
Okay.
the translations for all of them. How about you?
Well, I was I was really excited. I love this word. It was really fun.
Hmm.
And I said, I could put this in a business context or a personal context
Yeah.
immediately. And sure enough, I went to the web, I went to books, I went to magazine articles, and jump was proliferated all
Hmm.
in all of those places. It was
Hmm.
just wow, expanding. It was an explosion of energy, things
Yes.
jumping around.
Yeah.
Yes, I do remember this one thing though. I'm not gonna say where I was. I'm not gonna
Okay.
say what course it was, but I was in school, and there was a person in front of me
Hmm.
who was kind of grabbing things in the air, and then putting them towards the desk. And the teacher, professor, doesn't matter,
Hmm.
says, the person's name is there a problem? And I said, I will check because I'm sitting right behind this person.
Hmm.
And I asked what was going on. And she says, the words were jumping off of the page and the paper, and she had to
Uh,
grab them and put them back on the paper to read. I'm
now was
thinking,
she serious?
I think she had left the ground
Okay. Okay. In more ways than
in
one.
more ways than one,
Okay.
yes.
All right.
And she was kind of floating on air. I'm like, okay.
But you
So,
do hear about words jumping off the paper. I'm sorry I interrupted your
yeah,
story.
yep. So, yeah, I think she had too much to drink that afternoon because she was getting loose for the exam. Well, guess what?
Ah,
Yes, too loose. But
too
anyway,
loose.
that was it was kind of fun. Funny, funny, funny. And what did you find? Did you find anything interesting? Did you find good articles? Did you find a good way to go?
I
What
was the lot about the actual act of jumping, which is what caught my attention, and how much joy we get out of it as children, and how we should do it more as an adult, because you lose track of things like that. And it turns out there's a right and a wrong way to jump. So
really?
again, kind of dampens the whole thing, but I'll read those to you.
Okay.
But first, I've got a few quotes.
We love quotes.
Okay, all right. Benjamin Franklin said, to succeed, jump as quickly at opportunities as you do at conclusions.
Ooh, I like that.
I know. Okay, two writers. The first one, Melody Carlson, said, "A book is now she's talking about writing. A book is kind of like a river. I simply jump in and start swimming." I
Okay,
think she's talking about writing
I think
because that
so.
could work for reading too. Okay, Vash Young, another writer, said, "There have been many occasions when I found it helpful to talk out loud to my own thoughts, ordering the unwholesome ones to go off somewhere and jump into the river." So, first thing we've learned is that writers like rivers, and and they either jump in or jump out, or talk to their thoughts for the thoughts to jump in or jump out. So there we go.
Okay,
Turns out it's an important part of the creative process.
there we go. Yes.
Okay,
So,
how about you? Yep.
I found two articles that I really enjoyed.
Okay.
Both of them are on the business side,
All
as you
right.
probably could
Yep.
imagine.
Yep.
And then at the end, I do have some pro tips on how to jumpstart in a new
Ooh,
environment.
jumpstart.
Uh,
Good. Good.
yes, yes.
In a new
So,
environment, that's always good. That could go professional and personal.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So
Cool.
here we go. 10 reasons why certain people get ahead by Shane Rogers. And I know everyone's had this conversation. I've had it. I'm sure
Hmm.
you've had it. I've had it multiple times. And are you sitting with another colleague and you go, how did that person get that job?
Hmm.
I know we have all thought that, said that, or, I'm
Hmm.
not, I don't know. But anyway, and Shane says, here's 10 reasons why certain people get ahead.
Okay.
And he says these are some of the common traits that he noticed in the ones who rise above the pack.
All right.
And number one, they bring solutions instead of just problems.
Hmm.
How
Yep.
many times do we hear people complaining? And I know I have said many times to individuals, hey, well, you have all those complaints. What can you do to make that better? What can you offer your bosses to say, well, let's try this to make this better? And some of them say, well, I've got a couple things. And some say, well, I don't have any, but I'm just complaining. And I'm thinking, well,
Hmm.
okay. So I think Shane was right. So
Yeah.
they bring solutions instead of
Right.
just
Yep.
problems.
And a couple people sprang to my mind when you said that. So,
Okay.
yep. Yep.
He says they enjoy, excuse me for one second.
Hmm.
He says they enjoy the job, but they enjoy something outside of work even more.
Hmm.
And I think that goes with the adage work hard, play hard,
Mm. Right.
because you've got to have that balance, you know?
Hmm. Hmm.
Yes. Um, he says they stay calm in all circumstances.
Mm.
And I'm thinking, I've seen people like that. He says they learn to do great presentations. And I thought, yep, I've seen people who could do that, would be able to speak and just just control the room, control the audience, just
Mm-hmm.
have them in the palm of their hands,
Mm-hmm.
and they're waiting on bated breath for his or her
Mm-hmm.
next words.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that. He says they nail each level before moving to the next. And that goes back to a some advice that one of my best bosses ever told me. He says, Wayne, the best job you will ever have is the one you're doing right now. Do it well, do it above well, and if anybody who is your superior, if they're worth their weight in gold, any of them, they will notice what you're doing and they will prepare you for what's next.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, wow, I like that. And so again, I think Shane is on point here. And I'm going to say number 6, and then I'll come back to the list because I'm going to come back to you because we have 17 minutes left. Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
He says they tend to defend rather than attack people behind their backs. And
Mm.
I thought, wow, that's pretty good because I saw
Yeah.
one or two of my bosses do that. And what that means is the people who are present and they're hearing their boss defending someone who is not there,
Mm-hmm.
the people who are present say, "Well, he's got my back, she's
Yep.
got my back,
That's
so
true.
so
Yep.
I can move forward with that." Yes,
That's
I
a good
like that.
feeling. Yep.
Okay. Yes.
Confidence.
All right. To you, my friend, because I do not want to monopolize this. We have
Okay.
16 minutes left.
Most of my research is focused on the physical act of jumping. And the reason is, is that I got a DEXA scan and I skipped over osteopenia, which is the precursor to osteoporosis.
Okay.
Because why go halfway? I went jumped right into osteoporosis, both feet first. So as it turns out, one of the ways to strengthen your bones is by jumping, not into osteoporosis, but jumping. I never thought of that. You can
Like jump
jump
roping?
out of osteoporosis.
Like jump roping?
Jump roping is one of the ways. Yeah.
Okay.
So the first article I read is Why We Love to Jump, the Science Behind Bouncing for Joy and Fitness. So one of the emphasis of this article is that it's fun and it makes you happy. And this particular article focused on this is why bagoogiebounce.com, and they sell mini trampolines, which, as it turns out, are not as effective specifically for strengthening your bones. They're fun, but there's not enough impact to really strengthen your bones. But they did have a lot to say about how we have a natural tendency to jump. And you see children jumping, and part of jumping as a child is actually hitting a developmental milestone. But we kind of stop doing that when we get older, unless we have a reason like building our bones or something.
Okay.
But their philosophy behind this article is that research indicates that positive emotions are better expressed and perceived when communicated through dynamic body movements. And so when you think about someone whose team scores and they jump up and down, there's no question what they're experiencing in that moment.
Hmm.
Or when you're at a baseball game and they're throwing T-shirts into the stadium, you jump up to try to grab the T-shirt.
Okay.
So that's fun. That's also, unless you don't make it, then there's no beating up the person who caught it. That is not part of jumping for joy. So a study on long rope jumping revealed that participants exhibited higher performance in attention related tasks. They're even saying every school morning should start out with jump roping because activities not only elevate mood, but also enhance mental clarity and focus.
Okay. Did they
So,
mention double dutch?
not in this article, because again, they're talking about rebounding and
Okay.
jumping on a trampoline, but there are other articles that did, which I'll
Ah.
talk about later after you finish telling us what Shane said.
Okay, Shane said number 7, they make their ambition known so they are seen in that light. And makes so much sense. If you don't have the
Hmm.
conversation with
Hmm.
your boss will never know that you wanted to go in that direction. And they would not think of you for that position because they didn't know that you were interested. Because you're doing so
Yeah.
well over here and didn't know
Right.
that you had the talents to be over here as well. So, yes.
Right.
Number
That's
8.
that's tricky if you wait for them to say something. You have to really be self advocating.
Absolutely. Number 8, he says they are well informed, which he says really just learn lots about a lot of things, not just one specific subject. Learn lots about a lot.
Hmm.
And I'm just going to make an analogy here or an allegory. people who know a lot of trivia, and you go, how do you know? They go, I don't know. I just remember that. But if you would put that in the skill set of learning how to do this or learning how to do this or learning how to do that or what this is, that's what he's saying is they're well informed about a lot. People who are well read seem to be very, very well positioned to move ahead. He says they're networked well, but they don't hyper network. And I
Hmm.
said, what is hyper network?
Right.
And basically, it is yes, you know a lot of individuals, and yes, you can make the connections, but don't spend 90% of your day
Ah,
job networking.
yep. Right. Right.
Get the job done.
Right. Close.
Number 10, right? Yes, close. Number 10, they build relationships at all levels of the organization. And I thought,
Mm-hmm.
yes, you got to do that. You have to because you never know who you're going to work for
That's true.
or maybe who's going to work for you. And if you treat people badly, and
Mm,
then all of a sudden you find them working for you or or you working for them, bad things can go awry.
yeah.
So build relationships at all levels and positive relationships. So that was pretty
Right.
cool. Okay. And that's all that Shane had to say. I have
Okay.
how to jumpstart a stuck project by Michael Hyatt,
I
but I
would
will
like, okay.
but
Yeah.
but
I
I
know
will wait for
because
you.
you're dying to find out the right technique for jumping.
I am.
I know.
Yes.
I thought so. So I'll say this and then I want to hear what you have to say.
Okay.
So this was in WikiHow, which tells you how to do everything, even more than you ever want to know. Dean Theriot was the one who co authored this. So even if you've been jumping since you're a kid, there is a proper technique, which becomes more and more important as you get older and older and older. Because if you don't do it right, you pay the consequences.
Oh no.
So, first step is take one or two preliminary steps. So, don't start from a static position. This
Okay.
can help you put some extra hop in your step, and the energy developed in those steps generates additional upward lift. So, part of it is you don't want to just jump; you want to jump
So that's why
high.
people when they're almost like the jousting kind of thing when they're going up for a high five
Yep.
they start
Take a few
afar,
steps.
take a
Yep.
few steps and then jump and then do the high five. Okay, that
And you
makes
can
sense.
get 1 or 2 extra inches, it says, by doing that. Now, I'm not sure who they're talking to there, but okay, I'll buy it. So,
Okay.
number two, so 1 or 2 steps, and then drop into an imaginary chair. So you bend your knees and imagine yourself sitting in a chair just before you jump. Your feet are shoulder width apart. Your hips are flexed. I love it when they do the degrees because I have to really think hard about this. Your hips are flexed at 30 degrees, knees bent at 60 degrees, ankles flexed at 25 degrees. It took me about 5 minutes to figure what is a 25-degree. So you don't want to overthink. I don't want to overthink.
Okay.
So while you're in this imaginary chair, you should be able to lift your toes up and down while balancing on the balls of your feet.
Huh.
Are you doing that right now?
I am I'm
Me
trying to
too. Me
get my
too.
balls and my feet here. Okay, my toes are elevated. Yay.
Be careful that your knees aren't pointing inwards because that's bad form. And
Okay.
have your arms at your sides. Keep your back
Ah.
straight. So this is one of those things where you go, okay, I'm so busy thinking about this. There's no way I can jump. But anyway, number three, push your body up into the air with your legs, swinging your arms up, your hands up into the air toward the ceiling for additional momentum. For some jumpers, picture pushing through the floor or trying to push the ground away from your body, extending your legs with as much power as possible.
Aha.
Okay, number four, turns out there's more. Breathe out as you leap. Just like weightlifting, the breath you're doing is important. So breathe in while you're on your chair and breathe out as you leap. Just like
Okay.
lift. Yeah. So land. Now we're landing on the balls of your feet. This is really important for those knees and ankles because if you land flat footed, you're going to twist your ankle.
Ah.
So bend your knees slightly before you end to soften the impact on your knees and let your knees and muscles absorb the tension. That's what muscles and knees are there for.
Okay.
You transfer the force of landing into your muscles and tendons, which are built to absorb and dissipate this force.
Mm.
So, 5 steps on how to jump. I would say think about those, but when you're jumping, don't think about those. Just do it.
Okay.
So there you go. Oh, also in the warnings, wear shoes
Oh.
and
Okay.
watch and check your surface. and look around for obstacles, and then finally pain is your body telling you to stop.
Hello.
And remember, it's fun, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, all right, all right. Now,
Okay.
what do you have to say
Okay.
next?
So Michael Hyatt says how to jumpstart a stuck project. And I read these, they all make sense. He says 6 advantages of visualizing the end result of goals and projects. Jumping ahead, and what he says is he's really talking about an artist concept. You've seen the artist concepts of buildings that are going to go up
Yes,
in on this
yes.
corner, or parks,
Oh
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
And if you can see that, then it does make it seem to be a little bit more, all right,
Okay.
we can there's something tangible to grab onto and go with. He says, one, it makes it real if you do that. He says, two, it ignites passion. It sparks creativity. He says it forces clarity. It defines a path. And lastly, it encourages positivity.
Aha.
And I can see all of that. I used to work for North American Rockwell when it was North American Rockwell. And oh my God, talented people all around. And some of the artist concepts of the buildings, I worked on the shuttle program when they were trying to get the
Ooh.
shuttle contract. The artist
Ooh.
conception of the shuttle program with the shuttle orbiter flying around, the Milky Way or whatever.
Mm.
It just made it much more real, and people could put a idea to that and creativity to that, and it was exponential.
Mm-hmm.
The growth in the thought and the production or productivity that came out of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I liked it. So I read that article and I liked it. So I wanted to include that here. So
Cool.
those are his thoughts on how to
Cool.
get something unstuck.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So now I have left are my pro tips on how to jumpstart in a new work
Oh,
environment. So
okay.
please, and we have 5 minutes left. So go ahead.
I've got 10 reasons you should jump for your health. So we've learned how to do it and
Uh
then
huh.
how to ignore doing it.
Okay.
This is more reasons why. And again, I'm focused here on bone density. So, number one, build strength. Who doesn't want to build more muscle tone in your upper and your lower body? Oh,
Okay.
one note is to keep your core engaged as you jump. Yet another thing to be thinking of while
Oh
you're jumping.
no.
I know.
I got to keep my toes up, 25-degree angle on
Toes,
my
25
ankles,
ankles,
30
60
on my
degree knees,
knees,
60 on the
60
knees.
on,
Oh,
on
no,
the
not 30,
oh
60.
60, 60, 60.
Jumping burns 4 times as many calories as walking.
Ah,
There you go. It greatly increases the density of your bones,
okay.
and it helps you. You can do it anywhere. You don't need any tools. Now, we're talking about just jumping, but when you're talking about jump roping,
Yes.
great, great activity too. Broad jumping, all of these
Okay.
good.
All right.
It increases your metabolism because this is one of those exercises where the calorie burn continues after your workout because it revs up your metabolism.
Huh.
So it can improve your posture with proper form. And that's why I had to talk about the proper form
Oh,
before.
yeah. Okay.
And it also helps you make you feel more alert, which subconsciously gives you the illusion of better posture. I'm not sure about that line, but that's what they said, and so I'll take it. This was Kevin Murray in 2020. I forget what website he was on.
Okay.
Um, a regular jumping routine increases the ability of your heart and lungs to supply oxygen to your muscles. It is considered to be one of the most effective exercises for heart health.
So we're talking about cardio.
Yes, cardio, posture,
Okay.
bone, metabolism, calories, strength, heart health, and then for your balance, definitely increases your balance. And as well as your concentration. Now, I don't think when I'm jumping, because I'm starting a jumping program, and they say you don't
Are
have to.
you?
I'm going to start a jumping program. They say you don't have to. It's not like I'm trying to jump tall. I'm just trying to jump for all of these other reasons. And it says just space it out through the day. You don't want to overdo it, but 4 days a week, a couple times a day, just jump. So I'm going to let you know how that works.
Okay. Yeah, please do. You know what? I have a jump rope. I might just start that
Ah,
too. Uh,
well,
do do they
one of the things
say? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
about jump roping, you want to make sure you put one foot on the jump rope and hold the ends up. It should hit at your underarms That's how you know
Okay.
it's the right
The right length.
right length. And they recommend plastic rather than rope because rope has a bit of a drag.
Okay.
So go ahead, but I interrupted you. You've got a jump rope.
No, and my question was, do they say you said 4 times a week, and intermittently out the day, maybe a couple times a day? Do they give a time frame? Do you jump for 10 minutes, 20 minutes?
They did say it isn't supposed to be a long, drawn out process. It's a short and it's more like a high intensive exercise.
Okay.
So not meant to be a long, so shorter and faster versus longer and slower, I guess.
You know what? I used to do this, and
Okay.
that's the reason why I had the jump rope. When I
Okay.
walk in the neighborhood,
Yeah.
every time I got to a stop sign, and there's 4 stop signs in
Ah.
my route that I typically go.
Yeah.
So I would do this 8 times. When I get
Perfect.
to the stop sign, I jumped 10 times on the rope,
Yeah. Cool.
and then I would walk some more, and then jump 10 times at the next stop sign. So, I might try that.
Well, keep us posted.
Okay, you betchums.
And now you've got some pro tips.
Oh, and I have 2 minutes to do it. No, I have 1 minute because you get 1 minute after that. So,
Okay.
here we go. And some of these are going to sound redundant because Shane already said some of these things, and
Okay.
so did Michael. But
Okay.
I said get to know those around you.
Mm.
So this
Yeah.
pro tips on how to jumpstart in a new work environment. Get to know those around you, and what that means is find out who's a doer and who's not.
Mm.
Constantly build and practice your soft skills. Be very good at your job. Earn the trust and respect of others, and that's a two-way street. Listen to all the buzz that's going around. Seek challenges and then deliver.
Mm-hmm.
If you say it, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Defend those around you behind
Mm.
eh,
Their
and
backs.
behind their backs too.
Yeah. Nice.
Learn, 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 and continue to learn. And if you don't know it, say you don't know it,
Yep.
and let your boss know your future goals. And lastly, say thank you and mean it.
Mm.
And that's it. And I'm sorry I left you with 53 seconds, my
Okay,
friend.
well, I just want to say I've enjoyed deep diving into jumping into this verb, and
Aha.
I hope that you did too. Thank you for showing us that it's more than just a physical act; it's a metaphor for taking risks and embracing change, and so that's what makes this so fun, hearing different perspectives. Thank you, folks, for listening to us. We appreciate you, and share our link with others if you feel like it. Thank you, Wayne.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Sheila. And I will certainly start jumping soon.
Okay, all right,
Bye bye. See you next
bye.
week. Bye bye.
Okay.